I got a request to make a video on the tools that I use to make these 3D cards. I'll start by saying that I've really only been doing this for a little less than a year, so I'm still kind of experimenting with tools and what I like the best, but so far, these are a pretty good basic set of tools that I found I enjoy. First, and probably the most obvious, you're gonna need multiple copies of whatever card that you wanna work on. It does take more than one copy if you really wanna get all the layers in there. You can use real cards or proxies. I've done both. Another thing that you'll need is an X-Acto knife. So this is really what I use. I did buy this 12-piece precision knife set at Walmart, actually, and it comes with a lot of different blades. I've kind of tested out some of them, but I find that this is the blade that I like the most. This is a number 11 hobby blade. This is something that you can find on Walmart, Amazon, Hobby Lobby, or whatever your equivalent hobby craft store is. I like the handle on this one because it's a little more comfortable for me to hold. So when I'm making lots of cut lines, I don't have to continuously hold something like this, which is usually what X-Acto knives look like and what you'll find the most often. They work well and they're sturdy, but they do kind of hurt my hands over time. So I do appreciate using one that's a little bit thicker, has a little bit of a grip, a little bit more comfortable. I also, while I'm cutting, use this cutting mat. So mine's kind of big. It takes up a lot of space, which I really like, but they have a lot of different sizes and different colors. You can find these at, again, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Amazon. Definitely want something to cut onto though that prevents whatever surface you're working on from getting cut by your X-Acto knife. I also like to use a metal ruler with a cork backing. So that you can see this has a cork on the opposite side. So when I'm doing straight lines like these, I can get a nice straight cut, and the cork allows it to kind of grip to the card so the card's not sliding all over the place while I'm trying to cut that line. This I got at a Michael's, which is a craft store, and they do sell some on Amazon that are a little bit smaller, and I was kind of hoping that this would be a nice substitute, but unfortunately the cork is pretty thick. If you can see, there's quite a bit of difference, and I find that I like the thinner cork more because I get closer to the card, so I can get a closer line to where I'm trying to cut than trying to guess with this thick cork. Another thing I like to use is these precision needles. Another thing you can get, I get a lot of stuff on Amazon, or you can even probably find these at Walmart, Target, maybe even a craft store. But sometimes things get really, really small and it can be hard to hold these. And so I find that having some tweezers can help hold my item. I do also like to paint the edges. And for that, I just use acrylic paint because I have a lot of acrylic paint. Prior to making these cards, I did a lot of acrylic painting, so I just have a lot of this readily available. I also use this really tiny paintbrush. It's a liner brush, and this is also something that you can find at Target, Amazon, Walmart. I got mine at a hobby store at Michael's, but this will allow you to get into really small areas without messing up the card. And then to glue all the cards together, I use this super glue gel. I get this from Guess Where, Amazon. It looks like this, comes in a pack of 4. This is how I secure all of the different layers together. And then every once in a while, I do some engraving work. And for those, I use these art dotting tools. These, again, are something you can find on Amazon or Target. I love these. And I got these on Amazon. They have a whole bunch of different size tips, so I can adjust what kind of engraving line I want to make. And there you have it. That's pretty much it. If you wanted to see a little bit more of a breakdown on how I use all of these tools, let me know. Maybe that could be a future video I do. But thanks for watching. See y'all next time.